What's really going on between Princess Anne, Harry, and Meghan? We're all pretty tired of the endless rumors about royal feuds and drama. Who hates who? Which couple's in conflict with another? It's all a bit of a headache. It's important to remember that most of these gossip pieces don't really reflect the true dynamics of their relationships. The bond between Anne, Harry, and Meghan is no exception. So, what's the real story? Are Anne's feelings towards them all warm and fuzzy? Or is there some tension hiding beneath the surface? Well, to get to the bottom of this, you'll need to hear the whole story. There are plenty of people who think that Princess Anne has little faith in Meghan's commitment to the royal family. Anne reportedly believes Meghan won't last long in the royal spotlight, and it seems like she's not alone in that feeling. The meeting between Anne and Meghan, as shared by royal expert Sean via Express, was actually set up by Meghan herself. She likely sought out advice from one of the hardest-working and most no-nonsense members of the royal family. From what's been said, Anne told Meghan that royal duties are all about service, not just fame or glamour. Her advice was all about being punctual, well-prepared, and laser-focused on the job at hand, a reflection of Anne's own approach to her role. But things didn't exactly go as Meghan might have hoped. According to sources, Meghan didn't really warm to Anne's straightforward advice, and it sounds like there was a bit of a disconnect between their views on royal life. With Anne's years of experience, she apparently had a feeling that Meghan might not be cut out for the long haul in the monarchy, especially with her different take on royal duties. Princess Anne's work ethic is legendary within royal circles. In 2021, she was named the hardest working royal, completing 387 engagements that year. More than even King Charles III, 385 engagements, and Prince William, 235 engagements. This huge difference shows just how dedicated Anne is to her royal duties. Her views on the monarchy are all about tradition, hard work, and staying practical. As Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's only daughter, it's clear that Anne takes her role seriously, with a no-nonsense attitude that sometimes doesn't mesh well with others. Princess Anne has built a strong reputation for her relentless work ethic and unwavering loyalty to royal duties. Her approach is all about the monarchy staying strong through consistency and reliability. She believes that the royal family's strength comes from its ability to stick to its traditions, and she's shown this through decades of service and a deep respect for royal protocols. This contrasts with the approach of her nephew, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Markle, whose decision to step back as senior royals in January 2020 caused a major stir within the monarchy. In a May 2020 interview with Vanity Fair, Anne hinted at her doubts about change for the sake of change, which many took as a subtle jab at Harry and Meghan's departure. She expressed the view that the younger generation might not fully understand or appreciate the reasons behind the decisions made in the past or the effectiveness of traditional royal practices. Anne's comments highlighted her preference for tried and tested methods, as well as the value of experience, suggesting that some things stick around because they work. Anne's commitment to the monarchy is evident in her extensive career as a working royal. She's taken on a huge number of engagements and patronages, surpassing many of her royal peers in terms of workload. Her roles have ranged from being the president of Save the Children UK since 1970 to supporting various charitable organizations focused on equestrian sports, welfare, and disability rights. The difference between Anne's steadfast approach and Harry and Meghan's desire for a different path really shows the generational divide within the royal family. While Anne represents a more traditional view that prioritizes duty and continuity, Harry and Meghan are more focused on adapting royal roles to meet modern challenges and personal aspirations. Anne's comments, though subtle, reflect her reservations about straying too far from royal norms. For her, the monarchy is bigger than individual preferences or innovative changes. It's about maintaining its stability and ensuring it continues to have the public's trust. To Anne, the royal family's legacy relies on upholding its traditions and collective responsibilities. Princess Anne is known for being straightforward with her opinions, especially when it comes to big family events. Her reactions to moments like Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle and the tensions that followed were quite telling. TV personality Deborah Davies has pointed out that Anne's emotions are often easy to read, thanks to her facial expressions and body language. Much like her father, Prince Philip, Anne has a knack for seeing through situations clearly, and that was especially evident during Harry and Meghan's wedding. According to Davies, Anne didn't need to say much for her doubts about the marriage to be obvious. Her reservations were apparent to those who were paying attention, even without her voicing them aloud. The spotlight on Meghan Markle within the royal family only grew after her and Harry's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2021. The interview created a huge stir, causing turmoil within the royal family and escalating existing tensions. In their book Finding Freedom, royal biographers Carolyn Durand and Omid Scobie mention that several royals, including Anne, were reportedly relieved when Meghan didn't attend Prince Philip's funeral in April 2021 due to being pregnant with their daughter Lilibet. Meghan's absence was seen by some as a positive, as her presence might have been perceived as potentially disruptive during such a sensitive time. This seemed to be reflected in Anne's demeanor, which was reportedly more distant at the funeral, especially towards Harry. This kind of distancing was thought to signal the broader strains in the family after the couple's public revelations and their decision to step away from royal duties. Princess Anne is also known for being fiercely neutral, sticking to the royal family's strict guidelines of political neutrality. However, this commitment was tested in 2019 when former President Donald Trump visited Buckingham Palace. As reported by Vanity Fair, there was some unintended speculation and misunderstanding when the Queen signaled for Anne to join the receiving line to meet Trump. This caused a bit of buzz, but Anne's adherence to royal protocol was clear. She didn't let personal views or the attention of the moment interfere with her duty. When Princess Anne gave a casual shrug of her shoulders during former President Donald Trump's visit to Buckingham Palace, many people saw it as a deliberate snub. However, insiders later explained that the gesture wasn't aimed at Trump. It was actually in response to her mother, the Queen, asking if anyone else needed to join the receiving line. This misunderstanding upset Anne, who values her reputation for respect and following royal protocols, especially when it comes to avoiding any appearance of political bias. An insider told Vanity Fair that Anne was frustrated to be unintentionally dragged into a political narrative, highlighting how seriously she takes her duty to remain neutral in all aspects of her royal life. This incident only underscored her commitment to the long-standing tradition in the royal family of staying out of politics. In contrast, Meghan Markle has been much more vocal about her political views since joining the royal family. In a Vogue article from September 2020, it was discussed that Meghan could become a political princess, given her outspoken nature on social and political issues. She and Harry stirred up debate when they publicly encouraged voter participation during the 2020 U.S. election and indirectly expressed support for Joe Biden. This sparked a strong reaction from former President Trump, who publicly stated that he wasn't a fan of Meghan. The contrasting approaches of Anne and Meghan highlight the different roles and expectations placed on members of the royal family when it comes to political engagement. While Anne remains firmly neutral and focused on tradition, Meghan, with her background and personal beliefs, has used her platform to speak out on various social and political causes. The differences between Anne and Meghan also come into focus when we look at their actions following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Princess Anne's role during the mourning period exemplified her deep respect for royal traditions and family duty. One of the most notable moments was during the Vigil of the Princes at St. Giles's Cathedral in Scotland, where Anne made history as the first woman to stand alongside her brothers, King Charles III, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward, guarding the Queen's coffin. This moment was a powerful symbol of familial reverence, following a centuries-old tradition that emphasizes the royal family's duty to protect and honor the monarch's remains. Princess Anne's presence at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral was a powerful statement of her role as a senior member of the royal family, but it also marked a significant moment in breaking gender barriers. Her participation in the Vigil of the Princes was historic, as she became the first woman to take part in this centuries-old, male-dominated tradition. Beyond the vigil, Anne walked behind her mother's coffin during the funeral procession through Edinburgh, a solemn and visible gesture of respect. Her choice of attire, wearing the Royal Navy ceremonial uniform, was particularly notable. Although Anne never served in the military, her uniform reflected her honorary military titles and symbolized her respect for the Queen's strong connection to the armed forces, where she held the role of ceremonial head. The funeral also highlighted shifting roles and protocols within the royal family, particularly when it came to Prince Harry. Harry's military service, which included 10 years in the British Army and tours in Afghanistan, had long been a key part of his public identity. However, after stepping back from royal duties and relocating to the United States with Meghan, there were questions about whether Harry would be allowed to wear a military uniform at the Queen's funeral. Initially, Harry was not permitted to wear a uniform during the funeral procession, following royal protocol that states former working members of the royal family cannot wear military attire. This sparked public debate and shed light on the complex issues of identity, tradition, and royal expectations. His absence of a uniform marked his transition from official royal duties to his new life as a private citizen. However, after the funeral, King Charles III, Harry's father, made a significant change in protocol. He granted Harry permission to wear his military uniform at the Vigil of the Princes on September 17, 2022. This gesture recognized Harry's past military service and allowed for a ceremonial tribute to his commitment. When it comes to royal titles, Princess Anne's views are quite different from those of Harry and Meghan. As the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Anne has a deep respect for the monarchy's traditions and hierarchy, and her perspective on royal titles and responsibilities reflects that. Princess Anne has always worn the title of Princess Royal with a mix of duty and practicality. However, when it came to her own children, Peter Phillips and Zara Tindall, she made the conscious decision not to give them the HRH, Her Royal Highness title. Anne chose this path because she wanted to give her children a more normal private upbringing, away from the intense public scrutiny and expectations that come with royal titles. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she acknowledged that while titles bring certain privileges, they also come with significant drawbacks. She believed that opting out was the best choice for her children's well-being. Zara echoed this sentiment in a 2015 Time interview, expressing gratitude that she and her brother weren't given the titles of Prince and Princess, which allowed them the freedom to live their lives without the pressures of royal status. This approach contrasts sharply with that of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who, despite stepping back as senior royals and seeking financial independence, have children, Archie and Lilibet, who are eligible to hold the titles of Prince and Princess, though without the HRH prefix. This distinction, which came about as part of a family agreement, has reportedly caused disappointment for Harry and Meghan, as they had hoped their children would receive the same formal recognition as other royal grandchildren. The difference in attitudes toward royal titles between Princess Anne and her daughter Zara versus Harry and Meghan highlights shifting dynamics within the royal family. For Anne, it was about providing her children with a more private and grounded life, while Harry and Meghan's frustration stems from wanting their children to have the same status within the monarchy as other members of the royal family, despite their decision to step away. Despite these differences, experts have noted that there are still some commonalities between Princess Anne and Harry, especially when it comes to their protective instincts. In fact, Princess Anne showed early on that she had a strong desire to shield Harry from harm or negative attention. Back in 1974, when Anne was just 23, she faced a terrifying and dramatic ordeal when her car was intercepted by Ian Ball, who attempted to kidnap her in exchange for a ransom. In the face of danger, Anne's legendary response, "Not bloody likely," demonstrated her fierce defiance and determination. It was a moment that showcased her courage and resilience. And it's clear that Anne's protective instincts extend beyond her own children to her wider family as well. Princess Anne's quick thinking and fearless attitude during the attempted kidnapping in 1974 earned her widespread admiration and reinforced her reputation as one of the royal family's toughest members. Over the years, she's continued to show that same strength, especially in her role as a protector of her family. One of the most significant examples of this was after the tragic death of Princess Diana in 1997. When Diana passed away, there was intense public criticism of Queen Elizabeth II for staying at Balmoral with William and Harry instead of returning to Buckingham Palace right away. In a 2017 interview with ITV News, Princess Anne defended her mother's decision, explaining that it was in the best interest of William and Harry to remain in familiar surroundings, surrounded by supportive people during such a traumatic time. Anne believed that being in Balmoral, where they could maintain a sense of normalcy, helped the boys cope better than they would have elsewhere. Throughout Harry's life, Anne has been a constant source of support, from his younger years to his adulthood. She served as a pillar of strength and guidance, always offering him encouragement. Her nurturing role within the family has made her a trusted confidant and advisor, underscoring her deep commitment to her nephew's well-being and resilience, even as they faced public scrutiny and personal struggles. Body language experts have also taken an interest in the dynamic between Meghan Markle and Princess Anne. According to body language expert Darren Stanton, the royal family, especially under Queen Elizabeth II's guidance, has always maintained a disciplined, controlled approach to public displays of emotion. The royal ethos favors a stiff upper lip, suppressing personal feelings to present a dignified, unflappable image to the world. However, moments of genuine connection still emerge, giving us glimpses into their personal dynamics. One such moment occurred during a 2018 event when body language expert Judy James analyzed the interaction between Anne and Meghan. James observed that the two women seemed to share a positive rapport, characterized by mutual pleasure and engagement. Meghan's passion for her charitable work and her eloquence clearly resonated with Anne, creating an atmosphere of genuine warmth, where both women appeared truly happy in each other's company. Judy James pointed out how rare it is to see Princess Anne display warmth, especially compared to her reportedly cooler relationship with Princess Diana in the past. This observation highlights how selective Anne is with her personal interactions within the royal family. Her warmth toward Meghan Markle at this time was particularly striking, suggesting a genuine connection between the two women. This interaction took place before Meghan and Harry made their decision to step back from royal duties, at a time when Meghan was still adjusting to royal life and building relationships within the family. The positive exchange between Anne and Meghan offers a glimpse into a more personal side of royal dynamics, contrasting with the often formal nature of their public engagements. Both women share a strong dedication to charity work, which brought them closer together. Princess Anne, in particular, has long been known as one of the hardest-working royals. She's deeply involved in a wide variety of charitable initiatives, both in the UK and internationally. Since 1970, she has served as president of Save the Children UK, where she's been actively involved in humanitarian work in countries like Cambodia and the Philippines. Her leadership has played a key role in advancing the organization's mission to improve the lives of children through better healthcare, education, and protection from harm. Anne's connection to the Olympic Games is also significant, shaped by her own career as an accomplished equestrian. She competed in the 1976 Montreal Olympics, showcasing her skills in horseback riding. This personal experience has translated into a lifelong commitment to Olympic-related initiatives. She played a crucial role in the London Organizing Committee for the 2012 Olympic Games, contributing to the event's success and promoting global sportsmanship. Beyond the Olympics, Princess Anne's love for equestrian pursuits has influenced her charitable work. Vanity Fair highlights her support for organizations like World Horse Welfare, which works to improve the well-being of horses worldwide, and Riders for Health, which provides healthcare to remote African communities using motorcycles. Her diverse contributions reflect her deep passion for making a positive impact through both personal involvement and strategic leadership. Princess Anne's dedication to improving the lives of people with disabilities is just as impressive as her other charitable work. She has been a longtime supporter of the Riding for the Disabled Association, which offers therapeutic horseback riding and carriage driving for people with disabilities. This initiative highlights the healing and emotional benefits of equine therapy, helping participants improve both physically and emotionally. Her charitable efforts resonate with her nephew, Prince Harry, who shares her passion for supporting disadvantaged groups. In 2014, Harry founded the Invictus Games, an international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. This initiative reflects his commitment to empowering veterans through sport and has received widespread praise for its positive impact on rehabilitation and recovery. Although Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have taken on their charitable projects independently through their non-profit organization, Archewell, their work has faced some criticism, particularly around financial transparency and fundraising. Despite these challenges, especially with the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, Archewell remains focused on tackling major social issues like mental health, racial equity, and environmental conservation. Both Princess Anne and Meghan Markle also share a more casual, down-to-earth side. Anne has always defied traditional royal expectations, taking part in everyday activities that make her seem surprisingly relatable. Her approach to personal grooming and daily routines shows her independent spirit, which is somewhat rare in the royal family. Like Meghan, Princess Anne is known for not relying entirely on royal aids for her appearance. According to Vanity Fair, she's capable of putting together her own outfits and even adjusting her own tiara when necessary. She also prefers to do her own makeup rather than relying on a constant makeup artist. This self-sufficiency further emphasizes her grounded, practical approach to royal life. The fact that Princess Anne is so dedicated to preserving the environment, particularly in the realm of fashion, is a demonstration of the timeless elegance and grounded character that she possesses. For a very long time, she has been a supporter of fashion that is both practical and environmentally friendly, even before it became a common concern. Despite the fact that Anne is known for her taste for fitted suits and classic styles, she is frequently spotted re-wearing her wardrobe pieces, which reflects a rare sustainability mindset within royal circles. Her approach is in line with environmental conscience, proving that she contributes to sustainability in a way that is both practical and stylish. According to Edward Enninful, the editor-in-chief of British Vogue, Anne is a fashion hero who embraced sustainable fashion long before it became a public problem. Enninful has lauded Anne for her commitment to this cause. He made the observation that Anne's ability to wear a tailored suit with elegance has distinguished her as someone who exemplifies a timeless attitude to fashion. Princess Anne herself gave an interview to Vanity Fair in which she discussed the significance of assisting British designers and craftsmen. She emphasized that purchasing clothing that is manufactured locally not only helps to preserve traditional skills, but also lessens the carbon impact that is connected with global supply networks. As evidence of her unwavering dedication to bolstering the economy of the United Kingdom, she disclosed that she rarely purchases anything that are not manufactured in the country. This strategy stands in direct contrast to the fast fashion trends that are currently dominating the fashion business around the world. In quick fashion, clothing is mass-produced, which frequently results in substantial environmental damage. The conscious decision that Princess Anne made to promote local workmanship and sustainable techniques serves as a remarkable example for others, particularly within the royal family. It also encourages both the general public and fellow royals to examine the environmental ramifications of the fashion choices that they make. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, takes a pragmatic approach to both her day-to-day existence and her sense of style. It is well known that she is the type of person who prefers to apply her own cosmetics because she values the personal touch that applies it to her appearance. Meghan enjoys applying her own makeup for regular events, despite the fact that she chooses to hire professional makeup artists for important occasions, such as her wedding to Prince Harry. She was also seen in Canada quietly waiting in line at a Whole Foods supermarket, engaging in nice conversation with fellow consumers and exemplifying approachability despite her high-profile status. This was another instance in which her grounded character was made clear. A commitment to a more sustainable and grounded attitude to life is shared by both of these women. They strive to strike a balance between their royal positions and personal ideals that reflect a desire for simplicity and environmental responsibility. An intricate relationship exists between Princess Anne, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, who is Prince Harry's bride. This relationship is molded by the emotional and professional dynamics that exist within the royal family. In spite of the fact that there have been allegations of conflict and divergent points of view, particularly in light of the fact that Harry and Meghan have resigned from their royal responsibilities, there are also instances of mutual respect and shared ideals that provide insight into their relationship. On the one hand, Princess Anne and Prince Harry have a profound dedication to philanthropic work, particularly in areas such as social justice, empowerment, and providing help to populations that are vulnerable. Both Anne and Harry are deeply committed to the charitable work that they do, and this shared interest serves as a crucial cornerstone for the connection that they share. For instance, Anne's advocacy for women in STEM fields and her support for projects such as Women in Science and Engineering, WISE, are congruent with Harry and Meghan's commitment to empowering women. This can be seen in Meghan's activism and the work of Archewell, the charity that she co-founded with Harry. A sense of solidarity is created between them in their jobs as public figures as a result of their shared motivation in fighting for change and providing assistance to communities who are disadvantaged. On the other hand, there have been reports of conflicts, particularly in relation to Harry and Meghan's withdrawal from royal duties and the ensuing media exposes that followed. This stands in contrast to Princess Anne's more quiet and traditional attitude to royal life. Anne, who places a high emphasis on the feeling of duty, decorum, and political neutrality that the royal family upholds, is said to approach her royal tasks in a manner that is more austere and pragmatic. In contrast to this, Meghan and Harry have taken a more outspoken stance on social and political issues, which has at times resulted in criticism from both members of the royal family and the general public. There have been times when Anne and Harry's relationship has been supportive, despite the fact that this has been the case. Since the beginning of her life, Princess Anne has been a defender of her family, particularly Harry. Her involvement in providing support to her nephews and her defense of the royal family during challenging times, such as after the death of Princess Diana, are both examples of the nurturing aspect of her personality. Additionally, Harry has conveyed his admiration for Anne's unwavering allegiance to the royal family, as well as her dedication to public service. It is also fascinating to observe the dynamics that exist between Anne and Meghan Markle. In particular, during the early days of Meghan's introduction into the royal family, body language experts have observed moments of warmth and genuine engagement between the two of them. It is possible that Anne, who is also deeply interested in social concerns and community work, found Meghan's warmth, eloquence, and commitment to charity to be resonant. Despite the fact that Anne apparently had a more cordial connection with Princess Diana, her chemistry with Meghan in the early years suggested that there was a prospect of mutual respect. However, tensions may have developed as Harry and Meghan's departure from the royal family unfolded. The connection between Anne, Harry, and Meghan is ultimately a reflection of the intricacies of royal life. It is founded on the shared principles of service and charity, but it is also defined by different approaches to duty, tradition, and public participation. Despite the fact that they may have individual or ideological disagreements, the family's dedication to charitable giving and support for causes that are important to them continues to serve as a fundamental bridge that unifies them.